Good morning, everybody, and welcome back to the channel. I've got a little project I've started about a week or two ago, and I don't know what I've gotten myself into, but as normal, trying to do myself. I've decided, since most of this channel is a DIY stuff, I guess it's a good chance to include y'all in on what I've started on. A lot of people have people do their upgrades and their modifications and their all that kind of stuff to their car, but being the channel I am, this is what I've gotten myself into. Well, as you guys can see, the Mustang is torn apart. I've got the rear bumper off using some aircraft removal plus sanding for what can't be taken off. That was a temporary paint job I did on there about 2 years ago when I got the car, just to cover the black bumper up to make it look halfway decent. And I've gotten a lot of stuff here. In the last week I've filled the holes. I just got done with those today. I think they look pretty good. It's smooth and feathered out. No bumps or anything on it, so hopefully it won't look bad when it gets painted. And as you can see, a little bit of body work. I still have some stuff to do here on the edge where that's not, there's got some little pits and holes in it. I'm going to take some putty over and get that done. And I've done a little bit of door work right down here where there was some dings and some pits in the paint. This car's been painted 3 times. It had gray or silver as the original, and then it had no, I'm sorry, it was red, then it was silver, and now it's competition orange, which, you know, didn't look bad. It was a 20-foot paint job. It didn't look bad at all. Not a ton of orange peel, but the guy who had it before me, his friends, it was kind of a project car. They painted it a different color whenever they wanted. They worked at a body shop, but it wasn't done, you know, professionally or anything. But I've got the door panels some sanded down. I've got to do a little bit of work right here. I'm getting this welded back up on the door shell where it's coming apart. I'm gonna get new window sills right there. But for the most part, I mean, the car's solid. The door's shut well. I've done a lot of stuff to it myself. I've got the Cobra bumper on it, which I haven't painted yet, and that bumper here was not painted when I got it. It was a new bumper that didn't have it doesn't say Mustang or anything in the back of it, but it's a GT, Mach 1, all that bumper. So I'm gonna strip all the paint off of that. I'm gonna sand the car, or Scotch-Brite the car down, really, because the paint, for the most part, the paint is actually really good. You can't tell right now, it's covered in dust, but the paint's actually halfway decent as far as how well it's stuck. So I'm just touching up areas that needed touched up, dings, pits, stuff like that. And then it had a spoiler on it at one point, and I filled the holes with reinforced Bondo with fiberglass already built into it. I did that the other day. Sorry I didn't videotape it. I kind of got carried away. And then I got some regular Bondo and put it over, and I can't be happier with how it came out with me being an amateur at this and never really doing this. So, I mean, it's super, super smooth. There's just some little pits. I'll probably get some other putty and to put over it really easy and let it dry, and then sand it down to get those little bit of pits out. But for the most part, it came out really, really good. I mean, you can't feel anything. It's built up just right. So overall, it's turned out really good so far. Like I said, I have the bumper off. I'm going to start sanding the rest of that down. But I'm going to try and keep y'all along in the process. So I'm going to keep y'all up to date, hopefully, and keep y'all in the loop. I'm hoping to have this car done by, I don't know, I'm hoping May. Since I'm doing everything myself in my off time and downtime. I also stripped the window tint off of the windows, other than the back window. I've got to get it done, and I've got to get the windows retinted. I've already got a place. The guy has quoted me on getting them all redone, and so it's gonna look good. I'm gonna make it a surprise on what color I'm painting it, but I'm doing it myself because You got 99 Mustang GT, you know, the new Edge. They're not worth, a regular GT is not worth but about 5,000 roughly, give or take. So honestly, in my opinion, to get a really good paint job and body work on it, it cost me probably 3,000 to 5,000, depending on who I had do it, to do all the body work to it, make sure it's all good, pull everything apart, get a good paint job on it. So honestly, I don't see it putting that kind of money into it right now. So I'm gonna do all this myself and see how it comes up. I've done tons of research on YouTube and other outlets on kind of store-bought paint, to be honest with you, but doing the 2K clear over it, like a lot of people done, and it looks really good. Maybe it's just the camera, I don't know, we'll find out. But for as little as I'm gonna spend on it, I think it's well worth me putting my time and effort into it. And it makes me learn how to do body filler, how to fill holes, how to get it sanded right, how to do the spraying right, the 2K clear, all that stuff. So all said and done, hopefully it's going to turn out good. So I'll keep y'all up to date and keep y'all in the loop and keep putting out videos so that y'all can stay tuned. Let me show you some of the things I did use for the filler on the holes for the spoiler delete. Let me show you that right now. So here's the original. This is what I used when the holes were just exposed. It's Bondo glass, short strand reinforced fiberglass filler. Comes with the hardener in the lid, and I can't remember if it came with a little squeegee, but I had my own squeegees to mix it up with, so I used that. That is really thick, really nasty. It's honestly hard as heck to put on, and I used a like a vibrating, like 4" by 4" sander to sand it down. That way it was quicker, because if you do a sanding block on that stuff, it's going to take you months, you know, non-stop. But if you do like the vibrating sander, it's like a 4" by 4" pad or something, it gets it down really quick, and then you can basically get it down as smooth as you can to your trunk lid or your fiberglass, whatever you're putting it to. And then you go back over, and then you go over with this Bondo body repair kit. It's got a hardener. It's like gray putty, but once you mix the hardener, it's kind of like a pinkish color. But that's what I go with afterwards, after I've got it sanded down pretty much where I want it. Then I'll do that to get a nice smooth finish, because the strand, the Bondo glass strand stuff is just kind of a rough stuff to get it done. I'll show you underneath the trunk. So underneath the trunk, you can see the holes on the back side here. You can kind of see the strands right there. Those are the strands. I pushed it through with the squeegee. Push it, and it's just like looks like a hot dog coming out of that side. And then you just kind of smear it around, and hopefully it bonds between the hole, in the hole, and then on the outside. So it basically bonds from the outside of the trunk through the hole, and then on the outside and the inside, and then you spread it out, and it basically bonds really well. I haven't sanded this part done yet. I've sanded a lot more of the trunk down, but I haven't sanded these holes down yet. But that's basically what it looks like. But man, this stuff's hard. It works really well. So, and then you do that, and then you do the other Bondo on the outside, and smooth it out. And then you use the glazing putty. I need to go out and buy some glazing putty, and then get all these small little divots out. But that's where it is, guys. Like I said, tune back in, and I'll show you exactly what's going on step by step as I get stuff done, hopefully. If there's anything I can benefit you guys on as far as getting this stuff done or doing it yourself, and seeing how it comes out, hopefully I can be of help to somebody. So y'all subscribe and stay tuned. I got more to come.